Girl, you the man, and she love me when I'm in, and she never be pretending.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Friday edition of the E-Spot with Camille. I'm your host, Camille Cower, and I cannot wait for you guys to meet my guest. She has gone viral on every social media platform. You've seen her parodies. She's hysterical. She's super talented. She's a singer, actress, writer, you name it. You're about to meet her, Jay Bailey. I'm so excited. Hey, girl, hey. Oh, my bad. I muted you. Sorry. Let's try that again. Hey, girl. Hey.
Now that you guys can hear me, how's everybody doing?
Better now that we can hear your beautiful, fun voice. How's everything going with you? You're creating so much fun content.
Keyword fun. That's how everything is going. I really enjoy what I do, and I love to make people laugh. I love to entertain, and it's exciting to be to see the reactions from people, the kind of engagement that I'm able to get from folks on social media. So I always have a good time, when I'm creating, even the process of creating, not just the final product, but even like as I'm writing or recording or whatever it is.
Well, let's start from the beginning. How did you get started in being a content creator? Because you're an actor, you're a singer. Like, what was first?
I think it kind of was. It kind of was funny skits first. And so I was on social media along when we first got like Instagram a long time ago. I don't know if you even remember, but Instagram used to only be 15 seconds. And you couldn't, like all these extra effects and stuff like that. We didn't have any of that. It was just do something funny in 15 seconds. And so I would comment on, and maybe say, crack a joke or something, maybe give my perspective on something that had gone viral recently or something like that. And then I started making like funny songs, and I didn't go full out with the production, but I would just kind of remix songs and sing them a little bit. And people I found like that more than the skits. And so I've always wanted to be a singer and songwriter. So when people wanted me to do funny skits, I was like, hey, no, wait, guys, I actually can sing too. But they weren't want to hear that. And so I was like, well, look, I'm going to make y'all listen to this music. So I started, putting it in a parody form, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah. Now, how long ago was the beginning of this process to this point? Or
this was to the point? Yeah. 2013. I've been doing this a long time. So, for anybody who's watching and is like, I want to be successful overnight. There's no thing.
No, that's awesome. So you were talking earlier about how you enjoy the process. What is your process? Like, what comes first for you?
Oh, well, I actually, I will hear something on the radio or see something on social media or TV or something, and I'll instantly change the words. If it sounds like something else, my mind works that way. If it sounds like something else, I just go ahead and throw those lyrics in there. Yeah. And then, I try to capture those moments and go ahead and write the full song at that moment, because I don't know where my mind will go in the next 10 minutes. So I've literally been in situations where, I'm hearing something, and like the Britney Spears video that went viral last year, my lower back is killing me. And I was like, Geraldine, that's genius. Write the song. And I stopped everything that I was doing to write out that entire song. And I didn't know that it would be as big as it was, but it blew up. And it was so funny to me because it probably took me 30 minutes to write and, record it. My husband brought me, only when we were dating, he bought me like professional recording equipment. And so that's how I've been able to
romance right there. Flowers. You need investment into you and your dreams. That's awesome.
That is the love language. And so that's what I've been doing since then. And it's been the most fun that I've had in this entire creative process, is being in control of my music.
Yeah. Well, so many people that work in the entertainment industry, they don't, other than Issa Rae, for the most part, you don't really get those opportunities to create your own work and it actually amount to something. But a lot of times now, because everybody has these wonderful devices where they can make their own way, it's a great vehicle. And I don't think a lot of people realize how not easy. let me back up.
Exactly.
How much easier it is in a way to
Mhm.
kind of be able to make your own film or make your own content or be the center of your own movie in that sense or music video,
Right.
you know, like you can really do that. You can make your dreams come
Absolutely.
true from home.
I tell people there is an app for that. Everything, whatever you're thinking about,
Yeah.
there's an app for that. And it's probably free. So when I first started, I was Googling, what I could use because I don't have a $600 camera. I don't have, thousands of dollars worth of equipment. I do what I can with what I have.
Right.
And so, that's just my advice to anybody. Do what you can with what you have and research. The internet is free. Most of us have a mobile phone. If you have a cell phone, you have Google.
Yep.
So you can go and figure out what it is that you need or who's doing something that you're interested in doing and then learn from them.
What are some of your tips that you would give? Because I love that you're saying start where you are as opposed to waiting for perfection. Because a lot of times that's what people will wait for, the perfect time, perfect equipment, $600 camera, like you mentioned earlier. So what would be some of your steps or must-haves to get started?
Well, first, before I get into that, let me just say it's never going to be perfect.
Right.
Start now.
Right.
That's number one. Start now. It's never going to be perfect. But as long as you have a phone with a decent camera, like I use an iPhone 11, and that's giving me pretty good quality. I use all types of apps. There's iMovie on the iPhone. There's a caption app where you can automatically put the subtitles on videos. Because I didn't realize this, but I had a lot of hearing impaired followers. And so it's, to see them in the comments saying, oh my gosh, thank you for putting the captions on here so I can, read along.
And so I didn't know that existed.
It's so, we as what I think they call us ableists or people that are able-bodied.
Yeah.
And so we don't think about it. It's a privilege that we don't have to think about it. I'm like, people can hear this if I post it. And that's not the case, so I put captions on everything to make sure that everybody can, get into it and sing along or tag their friends or whatever they want to do. But also,
I actually had a guest on a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying how people can get sued for not being ADA compatible, or like even having, because I was looking into it, how to get my website where it could be read to them in case they can't see it, or even I would rather be able to somebody tell me than me try to read through a lot of things. But
right,
that's one of the things I love about using Facebook and YouTube is that they do have the automatic subtitles for my show, so I have that set up. But for Instagram, I didn't know what to do, so I would really love to find out more about that, because that's amazing. And
I'll definitely send this information, because that it helped me a lot, and it took me a while to even find the app that I use, but it's so convenient. It's I was trying to find, how you can put a title on top of a video or something like that. That becomes very tedious and time consuming when you're talking about, and some of these songs that I'm writing, it's me rapping. It is like 32 bars. I'm like, I can't type all of this. So this new app that I found, it's I can do the talk to text, and it it dictates it for me, and it has streamlined everything. And so it has just been a wonder to work with. But all types of video editing apps that I can find. Like I said, I use the free ones because that's me and my budget. I don't know what y'all got in y'all wallets, but I enjoy the free 99.
So my dad says free I can always afford.
Hello. That's it right there. That's it.
Yeah, basically. And like you mentioned, YouTube, Google, all of those, there's a way to find anything that you are interested in doing. There's a way to find out how to do it, and clearly a free way if you keep looking.
Yeah, 100%. But also YouTube has been a great source, because people do how-to videos on everything.
Yeah, they do.
And if there's something, like, even if you don't know of an app for something, you can go on YouTube and somebody else has already found it 9 times out of 10. So it's it's all about how bad you want to do it. The research has to be done, but the information is there.
Yeah. Now, I talk to my husband sometimes about doing classes and so on, and he was like, man, when would you have time? I'm like, yeah, good point. People could just Google it, because I get asked a lot of questions sometimes. I'm like, maybe I should do a class for it. So at least I'm answering it all at one time instead of 5 different emails about it. But Just
Well,
do
you
it.
can pre-record that stuff and upload it in a series. If you have time to sit down and, pre-record it, and then you can package it like that and say, hey, if you want information on this particular topic, it's $5.99 in my bio. Go to the link in my bio, download it. You can do ebooks, all that stuff. I'm sure you are multifaceted. I watch you on social media. You got
I'm
what?
a one-woman shop. It's a lot. I'm like, I don't need to put any more on my plate. I don't know why I think I can do it.
Understand you. It is me. I know how it can be difficult to take on all those roles, but like I said, there's an app for everything, and automation helps so much when when you're doing these things. Like even my t-shirt business, I'm able to, that runs itself, and I just collect the profits from it. So,
well, wait, let's back up a little bit, because I do want to talk about your apparel company, but I want to make sure we get all the social media parts taken care of first. But there's been so many different social media platforms that you have just skyrocketed on. What big differences have you noticed from using the different apps? And what do you think about, even with, like, I hate to talk about hot topic stuff, but with TikTok possibly being banned, like, you're someone that actually uses it as a platform, and you're amazing on there. So I'm curious what you think about all of it.
Well, first, every app is used for something different. You go on Facebook to check in with your church members and your mama and your grandma and auntie and them. That's what you go on Facebook for. You post scriptures in the morning, motivational quotes and stuff, and you make sure everybody prayed and did their devotion by the end of the day. And then on Twitter, people are just talking reckless. They're just saying whatever they want to say. They calling out your daddy. They got screenshots, the receipts, and everybody. It's just, Twitter is just an all-out war zone at any given time of the day. And then you go on Instagram, and then everybody's posting their selfies. People are posting their funny clips and their videos and things like that. And then you go on TikTok, and it's a whole different world. I've said this so many times. It's a totally different demographic on TikTok. My following on Instagram is probably 75% Black women. On TikTok, it's like 90% white women. Similar content.
Yeah.
No idea. I don't know if there are more white women using TikTok. I don't know. Yeah. But I saw that instantly, and I thought, this is so crazy that, there's such a difference in who's watching me. And so, the common thing is, though, being relatable. That's how you go viral. If you're talking about something that just happened, or something that's relatable, something that everybody can get into, like with the parody that I posted yesterday about homeschooling the kids. Parents are feeling that right now. And that's the amazing thing about being a songwriter. You don't have to be in that life. You don't have to understand the experience 100% in order to write about it, because there are so many other people's experiences I can pull from, especially from social media, because that, like, there's a meme, there's a GIF or the GIF, or however you pronounce it, GIF. But there's
no, I'm kidding. I think they call it GIF, but I don't know.
But I know we can Google it and find out. But there's a meme, for everything. So those are the differences that I have seen. And the thing I love about TikTok is that it's just really a bunch of regular people being regular and relating to other regular people. That's the common thing that I see with a lot of the content creators on there, is that people are just sharing their personal experiences, and other folks are, vibing with it. So
what do you think about it possibly getting banned? Do you think that's really going to happen? Do you plan on?
You saw how I tried to.
No, I'm not letting you on that one.
I think
we don't have to get political about it, but I'm just saying in the sense of,
I think there's there's really no basis for it being banned. The facts that have been presented aren't actually facts, and people don't know enough about the actual inner workings of the app to make those kinds of claims. And you have to understand, TikTok is a fairly new platform. It's only going to be 2 years old this month. Wow. So the rest of these platforms have had time to cater their algorithm and the words that are sensitive, hot buttons, facial recognition feature. They've had all this time to perfect that functionality. And TikTok is just like, okay, we got some filters if y'all want to play with them, and I think that, TikTok offers something very different though. They're like I said, I think people are able to use it a little more personally. And I don't really think that it'll actually be banned because I don't see the validity of the argument. And they've already come out and said that the one thing that I think Trump was concerned about was, TikTok is taking the users' information and sharing it with the Chinese. And that's just 100% a lie. And that came from the CEO of TikTok today. So had anyone, done any kind of research, they, just the information's there. It's public, just go look at it. But I think that he just, people are on there talking about him, making jokes, and he's become
No, I've seen a few videos where I guess that was part of the reason his Tulsa event wasn't as full, because a lot of the TikTokers allegedly were
reserved all those people.
Reserved all the yeah. So I know that TikTok was the only group doing it, because I'm in these Facebook mom groups and they were also talking about doing the same thing. So it's not just TikTok and it's not just teenagers.
Right.
It's a group of a lot of people who were setting that up.
Absolutely. And it comes with the territory. You can't police people's freedom of speech like that. It's one thing if people are being racist or homophobic or something like that. But for somebody saying, it's kind of like, you're an older
person. Get you in trouble, but
you're an adult. Like, you can take a little internet joke. You know what I mean? Because you're the president.
Yeah.
You're the president of the United States. You had to know that you're going to come with the territory. Like, people troll me. If I can get trolled, Donald Trump, you can get trolled,
And it's almost as if, let them troll you. Like, what difference does it make in that sense either? Because
right. You need to be just concerned about running the country. That's important.
Yeah. You're kind of in a pandemic. Like, there's bigger things to worry about.
Right.
So, but I want to show your video, as a matter of fact, the parent stuck at home. Let's see. I'm going to put it on. I'm trying to make it so it's the big thing. We'll have to go out. So we'll be back.
I'm a little bitter. Need a painkiller. Mad cause I got a homeschool little critters. Patience on thin and my mind don't quitter. How many apples Johnny had, can't figure. W for wine and P is for period. When y'all take a nap, I'm about to drink something serious. COVID doing numbers, so the school went digital. Now I gotta be the parent, teacher, and principal. White wine, red wine, doesn't matter, both fine. Double cup 2 times. I quit, dismiss, I ain't finna do this. About to call my husband like, Man, I can't wait to get out this house. Please, if they don't stop yelling, I'ma put them out. I gotta go. Homeschooling kids, man, was I on crack? The teachers need a raise when school start back. Period. Stuck at home with my kids, that's madness. Madness. I need a jacket in the room and it's fatty. Madness. Stuck at home with my kids, that's madness. Madness. I need a jacket in the room and it's fatty. Madness.
Yay! Oh my God, I love that. It's so funny. And I have to tell you, and tell everybody out there, after watching this yesterday, I was like, I didn't know she had kids. And so when we were talking, she's like, I don't. I'm like, oh. I was like, I've talked to you before. I don't feel like I've ever seen any videos of it. Like, I really went like this. Was like, did I?
It's like, no, that's not a kid. But it's
you can relate. It's being relatable, like you said, because I would have thought you had kids because you did such a good job.
But that's like I said, that's the beauty of being, a creative. I can create whatever I want to create. And like I said, I have a lot of help from, my followers. I see the comments and the things that they say, about the whole situation. And so that's beneficial.
Yeah. And I would say, like, when I go on TikTok, a lot of the parents, it's a lot of that complaining about being homeschooling or being all these extra hats they now have to wear being in the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So I love that you're taking that stuff that it's kind of upsetting to some people and making it into something funny, something enjoyable that you can laugh about and like, oh yeah, we're all going through this together. And it's a new world, it's new things, and it's fun to find a way to make it funny, and you do a great job of it. So now you also own a t-shirt company. So share a little bit about that and how you got started doing that.
Well, it actually was just like a side thing to make extra money, and then it turned into like a whole vision. Because I saw, a lot in social media and TV and just in society in general. Black people are kind of made to feel, not kind of, Black people are made to feel inferior, to be ashamed of their features, to be ashamed of their skin color, who they are, where they come from. And especially being a Black woman, it's hard to live up to everybody's expectations and still feel a sense of self-worth. Right. And so I wanted to create something, as the vision progressed, I wanted to create something that was pouring back into, Black people. So the original name of the company was called It's Okay to Be Black. And then I thought that was just too long. So I shortened it to Okay to Be Apparel. And then it becomes more fluid, okay to be whatever kind of Black you are, all kinds of Blacks, emo Black, punk rock Black, country Black, hip hop Black, ratchet, ghetto, church, whatever kind of Black, all of it is welcome. All of it is beautiful. And so even I'm wearing a shirt now. If you can see it, this says Black women are necessary. And you could kind of see it in the last video. Mm-hmm. And so those are the kind of messages that I put on my website, that it's okay to be Black. And Black women are necessary, and Black men are necessary, and we have Black Lives Matter T-shirts and things like that, because we just want to continue to flood the community with positive messages, because there is so much on a daily basis that tries to discourage you from feeling like you fit in, or you make the cut, or that you're enough. And we as Black people have to know that regardless of what you think about me, I don't have to be an attorney, a doctor, a celebrity. I don't have to be anything. I matter, period. That's it. I matter, period. That's the end of the sentence. And I am enough just the way I am. So that's what it turned into. And it's been, pretty successful. And so, I just love being able to provide something, for people who look like me. Representation is important.
It is. It is very much so. And, when I look at your videos, it reminded me a lot of Weird Al Yankovic. I think that's in the sense of like parodies. And then, but because you're a woman, I can relate to, and the kinds of songs you're performing, I can relate to. It just makes sense that now you have shirts for those same people that can relate to everything that you're saying and want to be proud, want to feel included. And there's, you mentioned something earlier that made me want to kind of talk about this topic as well. Just being Black women right now, I think we're being overlooked still as far as the Black Lives Matter movement, or even with the Me Too movement, like all those different things that happened in the past, where even though it might have been originally created by a Black woman, it's when it comes down to things happening to Black women. Yeah, it's like crickets. So I'm curious what you think about all of that as well, or how you feel about it.
I think that well, first I agree with you, and it's so. I try not to sound so, victim-y when I talk about it, but being a Black woman is a beast of a different color, especially in this country, because if you're not being looked at crazy because of the color of your skin, you're being passed over or talked over, or, because you're a woman. And, that intersectionality is something that it hits hard. It hits harder on some days than others. And so I try to just, remain positive through all of it. And, my main concern is that Black women don't feel like you have to save the world, because, you'll see memes and things about, oh, Black women are so strong. Black women can do anything. Black women can do everything. And I'm like, yes, but we shouldn't have to. What are you going to do? Right? It's not my job to end racism. I didn't create it. Right. It's not my job to fix sexism. The patriarchy isn't, the Black woman's fault. So why are we the ones that have to, go to such great lengths to make this change? And I'm all for being a part of the movement. I love the protesting, the voting, the signing petitions, the marching, all of it. I think we need to do all of it, but it can't just be Black women. Like, we're tired of saving everything.
That part for sure. Because I think there's so much pressure on Black women, like you mentioned about the superhero part of it, where we're just always supposed to be strong and handle everything, be the mother, be the wife, be the lover, whatever. And it's exhausting. And I think one of the things that happened with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and us all being home, it drew more attention to the fact of how much different brands or different groups, because all of a sudden they're posting black squares and you're like, but where's the black models? Where's the black employees? Where's the black
whole board is a bunch of white men.
Yeah.
And and then the funny thing is they'll call their company diverse. They have one Asian person, one Middle Eastern person, 2 black men, and then the head of diversity is a black woman.
Yeah. Out of 300 employees.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
I don't, I think that's just a start, though. A lot of corporations are so just whitewashed, and they just feed into what white people think is okay. And when you think about certain marketing and branding messages, that just ain't good enough in 2020. You know what I mean? Like, you need to hear from the other side of the table. Black people need to have a voice, because we make up so much of you have to think, for the amount of Hispanic, Latino, Black, Indian, Asian people in this country, why are we called the minority? It's way more of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and especially with the increase of interracial relationships and things like that. It's all, like, I think that in 30 years, in 30 years, we're probably all going to be olive skin. We all going to be light skin, so I think that people got to get to a place where they recognize, before skin color or gender or anything else, I'm human, and you need to treat me as that. And I deserve for my voice to be heard, because I'm a part of this community. I'm buying your products. I'm shopping at your store. I'm listening to your podcast. Yes, you do owe me an explanation. Yes, I do deserve, to give you my feedback and input in this. I think that's only fair.
And not to be overlooked for it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, your voice doesn't actually matter. You're not the majority.
Right.
Actually, do the numbers again.
Kinda.
Like, don't let the minority word fool you. That's why we're switching it up on them. But I'm seeing if there's comments in here. Go ahead and answer them through.
I actually see one of my friends, Nikki, is in here. Hey, Nikki, thank you for tuning in.
Oh yeah. Hey, Nikki girl. That was my friend Nicole, or my cousin Nicole as well. She's the legislative agenda for Black women has long been overlooked by politicians. Like, I mean, the fact that we're still fighting for equal pay, and they've been fighting for that before we were born, is ridiculous.
Right.
And
it's a never-ending struggle.
It is, and it's also like they pitch us against each other so much, and so many in the entertainment industry as well, where there can only be one Black woman or one head woman in every position, and it's so then even as women, we don't always treat each other with the same level of respect and everything that we should, and try to build that sisterhood that men do, in the sense where the boys club, that's why they're able to get to certain points, never having to interview for jobs and so on, because they look out for each other. And women are so scared of that, because it's that whole divide and conquer type of thing almost. Where as long as we're always considered to be the weaker sex or so on, they can overrule us, they can outnumber us, they can outvote us and so on. And it's just, until we come together as women, period, this is just going to be a cycle that keeps coming, because we can't, like you said, we can't end racism, we can't end rapes. Like, we're not for the most part, we're not the ones doing it. It's mainly men doing all of those things. So people need to raise their sons better. But also these men need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
And there needs to be
a meme that said, sorry, I saw a meme that said,
everything, totally distracted by it. It's beautiful. By the way,
I saw a meme that said something about it was the difference in how men and women are raised. It was saying that, women are saying that they're terrified of men because they can't walk by themselves at night. They're being raped or beaten and molested. Like, if you tell the wrong man no at the gas station, you might not make it home. And dudes are just like, oh, women are trash because she didn't like me back in 6th grade. And I'm like, you don't see the problem with that? It's very true. Like, men have a huge problem with rejection, and they feel entitled to everything. And it's not saying, like, I'm all for accountability. I'm not saying that men aren't good for anything. I'm not saying that men are stupid or anything like that. I'm just saying that you need to have a level of accountability about yourself and your friends. Because if you know that your friend is a rapist, What does that say about you? And understand what rape is, because learning like sex education in high school is not what it should be. Kids are like, they're given condoms and like, be safe. And that is not what it is. You need to there needs to be extensive courses detailing consent. When is consent being withdrawn? Can somebody change their mind? If you had a drink, is it still consent? Like, there are people that say, oh, I love to, take drugs and have sex. And I'm like, that don't scare you just a little bit? Well, that scares me. That sounds very date rape-ish to me. But the culture is so, that's the rape culture that has been perpetuated that people are not, speaking about, especially like in college, sometimes in jobs, like you have to be sexually harassed to get a promotion. Like, no.
I just think back even as a kid, you remember Tone Loc's song Funky Cold Medina?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was putting stuff in people's drinks in order.
Right.
Like, you hear that lyrics now, you're like, whoa, wait, that's not right. You shouldn't be doing that.
And that is the theme in a lot of, content
Rap
today.
songs
Like,
now, yeah.
people are like, look, we pop a perk or we do X, and then we have a good time. And I'm like, that don't sound fun to me.
It doesn't sound like the other person week during it. And doesn't sound like a good time either. Or that you're fully performable because you've been drinking or whatever.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I thought, maybe it's a conversation for another time. But
after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna do the East Spot late night. We're gonna do that later. We'll talk about that. But it's people want to make it a gray area, and it's really not. No means no, and that's it. Like, constantly asking me, that's harassment. Trying to force me to change my mind, that's coercion. And I mean,
there was a great analogy like there was a great analogy that went by about like with wallets. Like, if your guy friend is drunk, does that mean you can just take his wallet? No. Well, what if you keep asking him for his wallet? Can you take his wallet? No. Like, it's the same thing. If you wouldn't steal his wallet, then just imagine it's her wallet and leave it alone.
And it's hard that you have to tell somebody, think of her as a wallet. Or you have to make it relative to them. What if it was your mom? What if it was your sister? I don't have to be your mom or sister for you to respect my personal space. And that is the argument that a lot of women have. And men I see it all the time on Twitter. Men just don't want to hear it. And I'm like,
where they use their proximity to women as an excuse for why they didn't do that. Like with Nate Parker, when that whole thing came out, he was like, oh, I have 12 daughters, or how many daughters he has. I knew it was a lot. But I was like,
doesn't make you any less of a rapist.
No. And you didn't have to put a fake rape scene into a movie that didn't require it with a previous rape victim. Like, why are you sick?
Right.
Allegedly. I don't know. I don't know legally what I'm allowed to say about that. But
I don't
have a lawyer on right now. I'll just edit it out. No, I'm kidding. I don't care. Come after me. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gangster at all. Stay over there, Nate. We don't want nothing you selling.
Right.
But I just was like, you having daughter, like, there's a thing about with serial killers, a lot of them had friends and family members. They weren't killing them, and that didn't change anything. So
but they'll get right on TV and do an interview. I know Marcus, he would never. Girl, Marcus got bombs in his basement. He'd be cutting up old people. He go to the post office every Wednesday morning. He kidnapped old ladies and he cut them up and he frees them. The evidence, like, we seen the evidence in the deep freezer. Why are you still defending this man?
Or I was talking to a lady yesterday. Actually, we were talking about how they'll blame it on the girl, or because she was fast, she was young, and not ever think about
clothes. She was dancing sexually.
Like, if it's a grown man, there's nothing a girl that's 16 or underage should wear that puts you in the mindset that I can hit on her. She's still underage. Like, she's just dressing for her athletic body type, or while she's young enough, she can get away with. Right. But we shouldn't have to even worry about our clothes or how we're perceived being an open invitation to whatever men's want from us. That's not the case. We're not here.
My thing is, as a grown man, you're telling me you can't control your urges no better than that.
Mhm.
You telling me you 40, 30, 27 years old,
Yeah.
and you can't leave an 18, 16-year-old girl alone?
Hello.
Sir, the chair, make it electric.
100% with water. Yep.
Because but
My
people,
God.
they find ways to blame it on us. Why were you out so late? I can't go out.
I can't
Y'all
drink.
can go out.
Yeah. I can't go
So,
to
you know.
parties. I can't have a job coming home late, or
Exactly.
I can't trust that my friends won't take advantage of me because we're
Right.
friends.
Right.
Yeah. It's scary. It's really scary because you got to wonder why these guys would even be interested in doing the things that they're doing. What's wrong with them that they can't get a date the normal way or whatever?
Right.
Like they have to drug women or whatever it may be. But whatever it is, now that we're on this pause button of the pandemic, it's a good time to get your life together, get some therapy, like let's fix what's wrong.
Absolutely.
Let's all
Absolutely.
have these conversations like we're having right now, just to kind of clear it up. Because there's even the talks like within the Black community, a lot of times we might know a cousin, uncle that ain't quite right. Don't leave your kids around. Well, wait, there's other people that have kids too
Right.
that live near.
Yeah.
Like,
Why are you still invited to the barbecue?
right? That part.
But your gay cousin has been cast out for the last 2 years. That's another conversation for a different day. You just have to have it back on the show, sis. That's all that is.
I mean, can you every week?
I mean, look, we can make this a thing. We can do like, I don't know, we can make it a thing if you want to.
I'll be sliding in your DMs because you're actually from the South. So when you say it, it actually happens. It means it. Because sometimes people are like, "Oh, I want to be on the show." Okay, cool, let's do it, and never show up.
I do a lot of things, but lying is not one of them. If I say it, that's what it is. So we might throw something together, because I think, I go live on my TikTok every morning. I'll make my juice in the morning time, and people, for whatever reason, they care about what I have to say. So I think it'll be fun if we actually, get some topics and actually nail it down and have real discussions that people can join in on, because, especially during this wind down time during the pandemic, people are at the house bored. They're not going to see their friends and family. We can be like their homegirls, spilling the tea.
Perfect. Love it. Let's do it. Cause I love interviewing people. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's just really hard to get people late. I'm nail them down, make sure they really show up, and being prepared and having to make all those promos. Girl, you just say the word. It is. And I mean, I love it, but the hard part of it is doing it all alone and just kind of feeling like I'm not so much self-doubting what I'm doing, just always the stress of, are they going to show up? Is this the right person? Are they going to end up being completely boring and we're not going to have any, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety that can kind of build up to, and then just even preparing for it, doing the research, watching the videos, finding out who they are. Cause some of them I know who they are, but maybe I haven't seen the most recent thing. And so I need to it's a lot. And I love it, but it's a lot. It's a lot for one person. So yeah. I would love that because
I think that's the thing.
I think so too.
Well, we need to put that in the atmosphere
for sure. Because I've been applying for these different grants, and they're always like, "You have to have a team." I'm like, "Well, one woman team."
The two count as.
So look, all of a sudden, I got a team.
Right. Okay, hold that thought. I'll be back tomorrow with my team.
They have those things that they use for extras where it's they're connected, so it's more than one person at one time. You know what I mean? I was like, "Hey, we're here!" In the Zoom meetings with wait, that's not a real person. The HOV lane mannequin would be.
I know.
Why not? That would be fun, and we could talk about all these wonderful topics that are going on in the world. That would be fun.
Absolutely.
So wait, there's a lot going on in the comments. So let me make sure I'm covering it all. Oh yeah, they were talking about Rick Ross. Silence makes you complicit. Why would you still around to keep yourself around those types of friends? Because they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're when they're dependent on people, whatever that term is. That's why. Because they get codependent. Duh. You could just put the co in front of that word, but yeah,
it's not like codependent, but I don't know.
Already, we got the rhythm. You're finishing.
Yeah, this is it. We're gonna work this out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we were talking about that. That was not funny, but I busted out laughing. You got me cutting up old ladies. No, I don't know what that was about. Now that it's a little
Oh,
further.
about the serial killer. When I was
Yes.
making comment about people being psychos, but that's crazy though, because people are always, you never know what people are doing next door until you see them on the news.
Granted, I'm like, some of these houses where they have all the different tarps and stuff, you're like, what?
Yeah, like you
Doing with
you
all
know he eating people. You know he eating kids in the basement.
Pretty
You
much.
know.
If you're too scared to go there for Halloween, something's up. Like, do a welfare check. Just kidding. Don't
Right.
don't recall the police on people.
Oh my goodness.
Not in 2020. Yeah, but I was just making sure I didn't miss anything that was a question. No, they're just co-signing on the different things that we were saying in that sense. But I love having you on, but we got to talk about your singing too.
Yes.
Collage.
Which is my baby. That's the thing that I love more than anything. And maybe not singing as much as writing music. I am a singer though. So I just, I started this band with some friends earlier in the year, and then Miss Rona, she was like, ain't no band. And so we had to stop for a couple of months, but we've been able to kind of ease back into it, with our social distancing and our masks and stuff like that. And everything has been working great. We're working on some original pieces. And we're doing, a lot of covers of stuff. And I love it because, like I said, that's my baby. That's my first love. Mm-hmm. And so for me to be able to once a week, I love live music. Like if I could live on like in the French Quarters in New Orleans and just listen to the trumpets and the drums for the rest of my life, that would be okay because I'm a fan of live music. And so the fact that, I'm able to do that once a week with people that are pretty dope and are really talented, that's just all that I need. And so I've been able to be really creative in that way. And the band is called Calaj The Band on TikTok and Instagram. We're actually about to create a Facebook page here soon. So, we post snippets of our rehearsals and things like that. And then we also did a live stream last week, and it went really well. It was our first one, but it was so fun. And, you look
so cute too.
Thank you. I did my own makeup. So I was really excited.
I love the dress.
I know. And look, I always tell people, like, my husband be like, babe, stop telling people that your clothes are cheap. And I'd be like, I got it at Rainbow for $12.
Oh, I don't know about this Rainbow. What? Tell me more.
It's like low budget Fashion Nova. It's like extremely low budget, but they sell virtually the same kind of clothes. The material sometimes is a little cheaper, but I saw that dress. I thought it was super cute. And I like tie-dye and beachy type stuff.
Me too.
And I just wanted something kind of, slim fitting and cute that I could, just little stuff.
You haven't gained the Corona 15.
Look, I gained it, but thank God it went to my booty. So
Oh my gosh, speaking like a lot of sitting, it happens now. I did not realize how much sitting, because as an entertainer, we don't sit down a lot. Like you're always, maybe, I don't know, since you're writing and making the content.
No, I don't sit down a lot either.
I don't sit a lot. Like I'm a stander, I'm a walker, I'm a talker. Mm-hmm. I don't often a nightmare to me. And so that's the part of doing the show that I would say is the hardest for me, because I hate sitting for a long time, and my knees and legs have been telling me, like, girl, you should have a standing desk like your dad told you.
I feel it. And then with getting older, like I learned the hard way. You think you're invincible? I woke up on my 30th birthday. My knees was popping like bubble wrap. And I was like,
gosh, because it's so funny, the Britney Spears one. You keep bringing it up. I'm going to try to find it. So ignore my random faces right now, because I'm looking up on a different screen real quick.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
But I just, you got to do things differently the older you get. And, like my mom and dad, they're, this is 2020. So my parents will be 60 next year. No. They turned 60. My dad is about to be 60. My mom turned 60.
Don't be telling your mama's age.
Look, honey, when you see her,
oh, okay.
Black don't crack. Black do not crack. And so, they walk in the morning times. They get up, they have their healthy breakfast. They have bikes that they, ride every now and then. And so they're such an inspiration. And I want to be as active as them, when I get older. Because right now, I be taking naps. I'm like, sis, if we're going to go out, if the club don't start till 11, I definitely need to take a nap at 7:15 because I need to be able to, I need to rest my body. I need to take
disco naps. Yeah, disco naps. I do that all of the time. Well, I did that before I'm not aging myself. Just because you told your age, I ain't right. I'm trying to keep working in young people category. I'm going to be like Bianca Dawson playing 20-year-olds in my 50s or 40s.
Look, definitely got listen, you look beautiful. Trust me. Trust me. And I always say that you look like Rosario Dawson, and she's so gorgeous to me. So
I appreciate it very much. I'm 44. I can tell the truth. I don't care. Because I used to say that I would always say I'm older.
I didn't even think you were 44.
Well, I feel like my grays are showing now anyway. So might as well.
I can't even see them on the screen. So I was thinking, I'm not going to lie. I thought maybe you were like 35, 36 or something like that. Because I have a sister-in-law who you all kind of look the same age-wise. Yeah. And she's 35. So
sorry, you look old, girl. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. I'm trying to cause some relationship troubles. Talk about your sister-in-law. I'm kidding.
And then that's when everything went left.
Good thing you guys are in a pandemic. You won't be invited to Christmas dinner anyway. All right, wait. Let's show. Yeah, it shuts down at 30. So we're going to show your Britney Spears one real quick because this one's hilarious.
I just turned 30. How was I supposed to guess my body would betray me? I feel so broken, conditions in such a mess, and all I do is sleep, taking ibuprofen daily, 'cause I'm aching and I need some icy hot because my lower back is killing me, and I must confess my knees are weak. I used to party like all the time, but not tonight. 30's when you start to die. My friends, they call me to get me out the house, but they know I'm not coming. I'm watching reruns. It's much safer on this couch with hot wings in my stomach, taking ibuprofen daily, 'cause I'm aching and I need some icy hot because my lower back is killing me, and I must confess my knees are weak. I used to party like all the time, but not tonight. 30's when you start to die. Oh, 30, 30. Oh, 30, 30. I just turned 30. How was I supposed to guess? Oh, 30, 30. My body is such a mess. I must confess that my lower back is killing me now, and you know my knees are weak, so not this time. I just can't tonight. 30's when you start to die. My lower back is killing me, and I must confess my knees are weak. I used to party like all the time, but not tonight.
Oops, I pressed the
I was over here jamming like I didn't write the song.
Say that again.
I was over here jamming like I didn't write the song.
Girl, me too. Well, I didn't write it, but I was jamming too. It's so catchy. And when you say the part at 30s when you start to die, I'm like, damn.
It's only down from here.
I was living my best life starting in 30s. Like I was kind of a late bloomer to things in a way. So I had the best time until 30. Well, 32 is when I got pregnant, but my health started falling apart right after my 30th birthday. So
I can feel that. But I also, to your point though, I think when we're younger, we're told that 30 is like old, and women that like oh, you make sure you settle down before 30. Like 30 is the golden number for people to have reached monumental places in their lives. And so I think that the older I get, the more I see, child, I got time. I didn't have to rush none of this. 30 is I'm just hitting my stride, like this is the good part, and so security, financial, emotional, spiritual security is a really big thing for me. And so I've only achieved that here in my 30s. So, it's not all bad. Your knees sound like bubble wrap, but you're a lot more stable. So.
True, financially and emotionally, which is something I do not take for granted, because you see so many different things. And even when you first started in the entertainment industry, I'm sure you had a lot more self-doubt and maybe even insecurities that kind of fade away as you get older. Different ones may fade in, but needless to say, for people maybe just getting started or girls who are looking at getting into the industry, what would be some of your warnings or even encouragements that you would give them to not let all the negative and I guess insecurities get in?
I guess I would say that first of all, you're not abnormal. Everybody has those. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling like, oh, is my forehead too big, or are my gums too big? Like I've had these conversations, and I pick on these things about myself because I was like bullied as a kid. Oh, you got big teeth and big gums. Oh, your forehead is big. Your nose is flat. Like people are going to have something to say. That ain't none of your business. I try to tell people that God needs everything that's in me the same way he needs everything that's currently coming out of Beyonce. Just because I don't have Beyonce superstar status does not mean that I'm not important. Doesn't mean that I'm not producing quality content. And a really good friend of mine a while ago told me that people are suffering because you're not operating in your gift. And so your purpose is not just for you. It's tied to the people around you and the people that see you every day. And I can't tell you how many, emails or inboxes I get where people are just talking about, oh my gosh, I was having a really rough, and I saw your video and it just brought me back. And so thank you so much for just that little positive boost of encouragement. And so on the days that I don't even feel like, I'm like, oh, I look a mess, I sound a mess, I feel a mess, I try my best to push through, because I know that it's not just about me. Now, on the flip side, self-care is very important, so if your body is telling you to rest, slow it down. Don't try to do too much, because your body, if you don't want to stop, your body will stop for you. That's and true. So, just don't get hung up. Don't get hung up on those insecurities and the things that you feel like aren't good about yourself. Focus on the positive things, the things that you do well. Keep those things in front of you. If you got to write a list and recite it to yourself every morning as a reminder, because it doesn't matter what else is going on in the world. When you wake up and look in that mirror, you got to be okay with who you are, and you got to love yourself, regardless of what anybody else thinks. You have to love yourself if don't nobody else love you. And that's where I draw a lot of my strength from. It's just that, most of the people talking about you don't know you for real. Yeah. So can you really trust what they say about you? No. Mm-hmm. So just let it roll off your back. You have a divine purpose, and you need to be worried about carrying that out.
And no kidding, like the person that's probably writing that doesn't even have the courage to do what you're doing in the first place.
Right.
Where's their show? Where's their parodies? What are they doing? Like ask them what they're doing in that sense. And
they cutting up old ladies in the basement. I told you what they're
doing. They're great gardens it up. They're not doing anything. They're playing video games. They're watching you instead of doing it for themselves. So you also have to figure out why they're even telling you that negative stuff, but stay away from it. Because you can tell the difference between someone that's giving you feedback that's to help you, as opposed to feedback that's just to discourage you. Because I would say there was a lot of times in my youth that when people told me different things I couldn't do or couldn't go or wasn't pretty enough or this, that, and the other, I believed it and I would let it stop me. And I'm ashamed of myself now that I let it bother me so much for so long. But, you know, everything that's meant for you will come at its time. And at some point you'll have the confidence to get over it. But there's times I'm looking back, or even just like having these different interviews with other people where I'm like, man, they said the same thing to them. I should have just kept going. You know, like it's just, dang it. So I love for whenever I have the opportunity to have people on like you to share that you've been through it too. And you went past it. Like you just kept going because and I love that it's so positive, the stuff you do too. Because it's so easy to be the ratchet or be out of character or even promote more negative images about Black women because we're the punchline to every joke. We're we're that girl. We're the memes. We are the gifs and stuff, or gifs. Now I'm saying it. Whatever.
See, now I made you insecure about it.
Like, no, it was funny because I used to say it whatever's the wrong way, and then somebody corrected me, and now I don't remember what it is. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Yay, you know how to say it properly. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's really important that we support each other, encourage each other, because it's so easy to hear those no's and just stop. And so I like when people tell what happened and can share in a way where other people can learn that just keep going, do it.
Yeah, you have to. In spite of everything, because it's something on the other side for you that's so great. And the plans that you think that you even have for yourself, God's probably got 100 times more or better or greater for you. And, you know, all you have to do is be ready to receive it and work hard. And that's, you know, that's just how I live my life. I know that I am talented. That's number one. You have to know I am good at what I do. Yeah, I might do some things wrong. Some of my notes might be flat. I might forget my lyrics. You know, I can't dance. But so what? That doesn't take away from my talent. I'm still a very talented, creative person. And at the end of the day, I can do this. So I'll take criticism, I'll take feedback, whatever I need. But at the end of the day, I'm still good at what I do. And there's no reason for me to quit. You know, when you really step out of the situation and think about what you're hearing from people who probably just have insecurity issues of their own, you realize there's really no reason for me to quit. Somebody said something negative, I'm still good at what I do. You know, so just you gotta keep it pushing.
I mean, there's these people who are saying things about Blue, Beyonce's daughter, and I'm just like, who are you? Like, where in the world?
Very sad individual.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they can pick on a kid, then these people are hurt. They're broken. There's no need to even give them any energy or attention because they're the same kind of person that probably would say something about a kid or someone that's not. It's not fair fight to even approach. Like, I'm not even going to talk about him, but I was about to go Kanye.
That's another reason I don't have kids, because I fight people. I'm not about to argue with you about what you said to my child. Come on outside.
It's tough, man.
Come on outside.
My poor daughter, she was bullied in preschool, first grade, second grade, third grade. And like the principal at her third grade school actually made a point of even saying to me, because they didn't have a guidance counselor. The joys of charter school, I found out the hard way, but they didn't have a guidance counselor. And since they didn't have a guidance counselor, they couldn't mediate between parents. And they actually suggested that I try to go meet them somewhere and talk to them. Like, you're telling me.
So you want me to fight this woman?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. You want me to fight her?
So wait, I'm supposed to be like, let me catch you outside? I'm not that girl. I'm a full grown up woman, first of all. And secondly, no, fix this. This is at your school. You fix it. Yeah. Keep that girl away from my daughter.
And kids need to be held accountable because they're doing, you know, like kids are mean. Kids are mean and they sometimes don't know better. But then there are some of them, they're doing it because their friends are laughing and because the teacher isn't stopping it or because they haven't been reprimanded. And it is 100% the school's responsibility to intervene. Guidance counselor or not, they need to understand that that's unacceptable. Yeah. That's period. Like, I don't care what your mama do. I don't care how you operate outside of these walls. But when you come up in here, you're going to respect me, these teachers, these parents, parents and these other students. And that's just the end of that. If not, you don't have to be at this school. But people try to be, you know, the money that they get, or the attendance, or the scoreboard, how the scoreboard look, the math elites, the track, you know, scholarship, like all of that stuff is more important than the actual safety and well-being of the students. And that's the problem. And that has been a problem for years. When I was in school. So, you know, like these schools got to do better. They have to care more about their students.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes even further. Legislation has to be put into place that gives or makes it where teachers want to care about their students and not just try to hurry up and make the test so they can get the bonuses so they can afford to be a teacher. Because I think a lot of it with teachers and so on, there's people who are getting these jobs who aren't qualified, who don't really care about students, and they're doing it for the paycheck sometimes. Not that as much of a paycheck, but then they find out, oh, wait, the only way I can make that lifestyle, get those summers off, do whatever it is, means I have to get these kids to pass these tests. That's the only thing they're paying attention to. Or their rooms are so overfilled, that's all they have time for, because they're still mixing in kids that may need special needs or more attention with all the other kids who are, and they just can't, they don't have room control, room management.
They don't have the resources.
They just don't have the infrastructure or even the abilities to do a good job, even if they want to some extent too. So it's just, we really need to revamp. And that's one of the good things with this virtual academy. I was like, oh yeah, let's sign up. I couldn't wait. I don't have to worry about my daughter being bullied. Somebody still professional is teaching her, because I can't do it. If things would go bad. She would learn a lot of things that aren't really necessary. Probably
drinking wine at 10 a.m.
Well, I'm one of the few that don't drink, but she would learn other bad habits, like sleeping in whatever. I'm not a morning person. But it's interesting to see how this is going to change in the future, what all the different changes are going to be. And I love that you're creating during this time things that are hopeful and positive and make us laugh about what we're going through. And I'm so glad you were able to be my guest today.
Yes, of course.
It's already been an hour.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize we had been talking that long. I hadn't looked up at the time. But that just means that I really enjoyed it. And thank you so much for reaching out to me and giving me this space. And, I was just enjoying our conversation. I'm looking forward to this. You slide in my DM so we can talk more about how we're going to expand this into like maybe a weekly podcast. Cause I think that that's something that we could do.
Heard it here first. As far as I'm concerned, we'll make it happen. Because I'm looking at changing some things around and trying to figure out how I can make my show not so guest dependent, just in case. Because as things start opening up, then what happens? So you just came right in the perfect time.
Well, I was looking. Somebody in the comments said God will put certain people in the right place on your journey. And so, I'm not saying that that's what he did, but I'm just saying that I think this is a really good idea. And I think that, I'm all for it. I've always wanted to do radio or a podcast or something of the sort. And so you have plenty of experience in this area. And I think, this will be an opportunity. You think that I'm the expert at social media. This will be a really good time for me to take a back seat and learn from you.
Look, we can learn from each other. I would love it. This would be so much fun. And it'll take so much work off of my plate, because I was just wondering how I was going to do it with school and everything else. So, girl, I'm going to go ahead and slide in your DMs, give you my phone number, my real number, not my Google Voice number, and we're going to chat.
We can do it.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, and tell everyone again where they can find you on social media, because they need to make sure they follow my partner.
Yes. You can find me everywhere as Indescribeabull. I know it's hard to spell. It's INDESKRIBEABULL. And I promise you, by
Uh-oh. I don't know what happened. I went to go copy and paste her YouTube and she's gone. Well, she'll be back. We'll be back together possibly. You never know when. But I did post her video, so you can subscribe, like all of that from there as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Friday, so you guys won't see me again till Monday, where I will have Pete Katz, who is a Juno award-winning musician, singer, songwriter. I am so excited to have him on. I met him during a networking event from a Jeff Pulver event, who I will be speaking at his event on August the 12th at 11:45 a.m. Check my Facebook page. I will be posting more information about that later tonight, hopefully. I tried to post it earlier today and it disappeared. Facebook doesn't like me sometimes. I don't know why. But anyway, so that's happening. Monday is Peter Katz, and Tuesday is William. I don't want to butcher his name because I'm going to find out exactly how to pronounce it soon. But they were from Jerseylicious. I don't know if I'm the only person who loved Jerseylicious who still remembers it anyway, but it was a fun reality show that was based in Jersey at a salon, and they were just like really over the top. And being a former spa director, esthetician, it was just right up my alley. And I used to live in Jersey. I lived in Mahwah and Ramsey in New Jersey. So it just, the whole thing, I loved it, ate it up. They're going to be here. William will be here Tuesday. His wife will be my guest, Crystal, on Thursday. In between, I will have Renoli Santiago. You saw him in Dangerous Minds, The Get Down, Hackers, Con Air. He's going to be my guest. He's a singer, actor. He's done a lot. He's going to be my guest Wednesday. And then Friday, my good friend, you see her in the comments all the time, Goldie Bell, Rhonda Marie Austin will be here. And honestly, she has been planning to be my guest several times, but she's such a good friend that anytime something else kind of pops up, she's always like, yeah, no worries. I'll do it another time. We'll do it another time. We'll do it another. And finally, all bets were off. It was her day. August the 14th is Rhonda Marie Day. She will be here. I cannot wait, from Goldie Bell Films. Crap, now I probably said it wrong. I'm just going to stop while I'm ahead. She'll be here Friday. I cannot wait, you guys. You folks. I almost went the whole episode without saying guys. Thank you so much for meeting my guests. Please like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, tell your friends. Let's have more people come and watch and be in the comments and share and talk. We have so much fun. All right. I really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate Jay Bailey being my guest and possible new co-host. We shall see. That would be great. Thank you guys for joining me. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. See you on Monday.